The rain chances have been the big story so far this week, but what can we expect next? We'll break down your forecast.
A massive mudslide causing lots of problems on a rural Whitley County roadway.
And the graphic accounts of twin brothers charged with murder.
And Jordan was stabbing him over and over. He was jabbing him right in the neck.
How they say they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and how a third man charged with the crime is to blame.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The rain is finally coming to an end from west to east tonight across the region, but how long will we get to dry out before the next round? Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery joins us now with our first look at the forecast. Andrew?
Well, hopefully long enough, but we can't guarantee that. We do know there will be a break, and the question is, how quick will all this begin to drain? Of course, right now we take a look at the National Weather Service camera. We're now in the 40s and will continue to drop rather quickly. The 30s up to the north, the northwest, as that cold air continues to work in, and here soon the Kentucky River region going to be completely dry, and in about an hour or two, all of eastern Kentucky, which is great news. The flood watches continue to be canceled. We'll keep an eye on that closely and have a full look at your forecast coming up in a few short minutes.
Thanks, Andrew. A mudslide had a southern Kentucky road crew scrambling to remove tons of mud before today's rainfall made the situation even worse. The problem started over the weekend and for a time trapped some of the residents in their homes. It happened on Bunches Creek Road off Kentucky 92 east of Williamsburg in Whitley County. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the impact.
Big trucks hauling mud and debris have been a common sight on Bunches Creek Road the last few days.
We've actually cleaned the road 3 times now so they could get back in. But, you know, we're talking about 3 or 4 hours to get it open.
It's all because of a mudslide that officials say could be connected to waste from a 40-year-old abandoned strip mine in the area.
I imagine it was just loose soil that they'd pushed over. I'm not really sure.
One man sent us these photos and said the mudslide knocked an outbuilding off its foundation and threatened another building. He said it looked like a bomb had gone off.
A lot of mud. Between Sunday and today, I guess we've taken out around 60 loads of mud, and it's still coming down.
Tuesday's rainfall was only expected to make the situation worse.
It's making it come down in the road a lot quicker. It's getting it all wet, so it's sliding a lot. It has a lot of weight on top of it with the trees.
No one has been injured, and officials say they have been able to keep Bunches Creek Road passable while cleaning up the mud. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Whitley County officials say they are also keeping a close eye on Jellicoe Creek and Dowell Road for similar issues. Crews plan to wait to finish cleanup on a slide in Pike County. For now, they have moved the rock and mud to the side of the road along US 460 near East Ridge High School. They hope a nice and dry day tomorrow will help them haul all of that off quicker. They do not plan on closing US 460 during that process. Lack of action by a Laurel County Sheriff's deputy could have led to deadly consequences. Now he's out of a job. Officials say Deputy John Wright gave a man a ride home instead of arresting him for public intoxication. That man was later involved in a serious crash. Hillary Thornton is looking into the details surrounding the deputy's termination.
It is a complaint call that cost a Laurel County Sheriff's deputy his job. Officials say former Deputy John Wright was called to investigate a public intoxication complaint in London. They say that complaint was about 52-year-old Michael Kissel, who they say should have been arrested at that location. The sheriff's office here in Laurel County says their former deputy instead gave Kissel a ride home. After being dropped off at home, they say Kissel somehow got back to his vehicle and drove off, getting into a crash on South Main Street.
We hear fender bender rear end collisions out here because of the light pretty often, and this was a whole lot louder. So it was a substantial collision.
Chris Gorham says he then looked outside his business and saw a crashed vehicle and another vehicle that paused to see what was going on before taking off up Senator Lane, which is a dead-end road.
The vehicle never did come down the hill, so we told the officer that we saw it go up, and it hasn't been down.
Police eventually finding Kissel up that road. They say his vehicle did have rear-end damage. He was arrested there for DUI and leaving the scene of an accident. According to his arrest citation, telling London police who responded to the crash that he had 5 alcoholic drinks with lunch. This all leading to the firing of the deputy who had contact with Kissel not long before the crash. Everyone thankful that crash was not any worse than it was.
Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
The sheriff's office was unable to talk about the situation. We are told the deputy had only worked at the department for about 4 months. A man is charged after deputies say he was running an illegal gambling operation. James Peters is charged with promoting gambling and possession of a gambling device. Deputies say he had 11 gambling machines along with a ledger inside Pappy's pool room on Highway 490. It detailed how much money his business collected and paid out. The machines were confiscated. A trial delay in Bell County for a wife charged with killing her husband. Jury selection was expected to begin today for Sarah Farmer. However, court officials tell us the trial was continued. Eddie Farmer Jr. died in 2016. Investigators say his wife Sarah shot him. A new trial date is not set. Water pressure problems have slowed down students moving into a new school in the city of Martin in Floyd County. About 4 years ago, Congressman Hal Rogers announced nearly $15 million for the town of Martin redevelopment project. Close to $13 million of that money went to building a new Renaissance Learning Center. But Floyd County School Superintendent Danny Atkins says because there is not enough water pressure to the school, students had to move to the old Allen Central High School instead. Tonight at 11, we are digging deeper into this issue. A group visited Frankfort pushing for tougher gun laws for people convicted of domestic violence. Moms Demand Action wore red today in support of a domestic violence bill. They want people convicted of domestic violence to have to give up guns for a period of time. Pat Quiggins has been waiting for something like this for a long time. Her sister was killed in the 1990s by her brother-in-law, who then turned the gun on himself. Well, hundreds of students, along with educators, officials with the Kentucky Valley Education Co-op, and lawmakers gathered in the Capitol building today to showcase all the accomplishments by students in eastern Kentucky. But officials also made a call to action to help revitalize these schools that, despite shortcomings, have students going above and beyond. WYMT's Connor James has more from Frankfort.
Educators say they hear the stereotypes a lot.
We want to change the narrative of what we're known for.
Robbie Fletcher, Lawrence County Superintendent, says changing that narrative is what Tuesday was all about. The halls of the second floor of the Capitol building were filled with students from across eastern Kentucky.
We want people to see the innovation that's going on in our school districts.
Innovation from students like Caleb Ashley with the group he works with in Harlan County.
We're creating a tiny home subdivision for homeless students and drug rehabilitation graduates to provide transitional housing.
Or others like this group of middle schoolers in Floyd County who came up with the Forget-Me-Not car seat.
And basically we made this project to save children trapped in hot cars. It's whenever the temperature gets above 85 degrees or below 55 degrees, then it will sound a siren which will alert people nearby to the car.
Innovations and the passions of students like Nathaniel Mims, who works with his school's broadcasting program daily.
We try to get as much student involvement as we possibly can to try to help people break out of their shell before they move on to college.
Educators and lawmakers joined in the center of the Capitol to talk about how they would continue to keep working for better schools.
We have to overcome some greater obstacles than what you're going to find in other parts of the state,
so that these students will continue to have bright futures. In Frankfort, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Out of some of the obstacles, superintendents say they see one of the big ones is getting jobs filled in eastern Kentucky. One superintendent made the comment that there are close to 50 job openings in the region with no one to fill them. An update tonight on a Pike County woman's death. State police now believe Michelle Smith died when someone hit her with a car. Troopers say her autopsy shows Smith died from blunt force trauma. She was found Saturday outside her home in Johns Creek. Investigators believe it all started as either a burglary or robbery inside the home. Anyone with information is asked to call Kentucky State Police Post 9 at 606-433-7711.
Well, the rain chances are coming to an end as this cold front works across the Commonwealth. The cold temperatures, they're settling in. We'll tell you how cold we'll get tonight coming up in 3 minutes.
And after weather, the selfless act of how one boy used a wish to not only help himself, but all of his friends and his school at the same time.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
Keno night. You ready? Choose your numbers, choose your wager, add the multiplier for a shot at $1 million. Or add the bullseye for an additional prize. Yeah, you're ready.
Nothing brings us together quite like breakfast at McDonald's. Together we breakfast. Now 2 for $4, mix and match a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, a sausage gravy and biscuit, or a sausage McMuffin with egg. Your morning starts here.
Oh, hey, Keno night. You ready? We'll take a seat and pick how many numbers you want to play. Now, choose your numbers. You've got 37 ways to win with a top prize of $100,000. Choose your wager, pick your draw times, add the multiplier for a shot at $1 million. Or add the bullseye for an additional prize. Yeah, you're ready.
Play Keno your way, online or at your favorite Kentucky Lottery retailer.
Glenn Martin Hammond helps injured victims because he cares. When James was hit by a drunk driver while at work causing severe injuries, Glenn was there. When someone carelessly ran a red light striking the driver's side of Jody's company vehicle, Glenn was there. When Jeff, an underground coal miner, was hurt while working to provide for his family, Glenn was there.
Call me and I'll be there for you.
In the City of Angels, solving crime is a family affair.
Charlie, you're saying you can tell us where the killer lives?
Yeah. There's Don, the street smart agent.
FBI, drop it!
Charlie, the younger brother with a beautiful mind.
There are letter groupings here that I've seen before.
And Alan, the candid yet compassionate father.
I just don't think you realize what you're getting yourself into.
Add them up and you've got Numbers.